Rich Simpson, a priest in the Diocese of Western Massachusetts. Once and only once in my adult life did my younger brother and I decide that we would take our families camping. Our children were quite young, and we had definitely grown up in a non-camping family, and so we borrowed all of the equipment. Truth be told, I wanted to go out and buy all of the equipment because I was convinced that we would surely become a camping family and that this would be so fun. But my wife, always the voice of reason, wisely convinced me that it would probably be a good idea to borrow the equipment and see if we actually enjoyed this. And so my brother and I reserved a couple of places on a campground and went up early to set up the tents. Now, I need to admit to you that this was not very deep into the wilderness or anything. It was not up in the Adirondacks. It was about 2 miles from my mother's house. This was about a half a step ahead of camping in the backyard when you're a kid. And my mother brought up lasagna for dinner. Nevertheless, Jim and I decided that we would set up these borrowed tents. And trust me, we had no clue. We tried and failed and tried and failed. Thank God that nobody could see us. Except that it turned out there was this woman in this camper who was watching the whole thing. And finally she came out. And what she did next was extraordinary. She took pity on us, and she helped us. And she managed to do that without even bruising our fragile male egos. She helped us out. She assured us these things were tricky, and she knew we would have gotten it eventually. Trust me, we were not going to get it eventually. We were complete idiots, and we knew it. But we were grateful for her help. It rained for 2 solid days after that, and I have never been camping again. It is hard to ask for help. It's hard to ask for help from our friends. It's hard to ask for help from a neighbor or a colleague. It is hard for us even sometimes to ask for help from God. I think many of us are much better at giving help than receiving it, especially in the promised land where we're tempted to think that we need nobody but ourselves. And yet for 1/10 of every year, for 40 days and nights of Lent, for 1/10 of a year, we journey again into the wilderness. We go into the desert together, where we realize that the only way to survive is to rely on each other and to rely on God one day at a time. The gifts of Torah and of daily bread and of water from the flinty rock all remind us that we need each other. And they give us opportunities again and again and again to ask for and to receive the help we need, and to be changed for good.